gosh. My half dead plant. I think it's still alive. Hi, welcome back. Now that this is episode 2 of my knitting podcast, my name is Madison and I'm coming to you from New York City, where we're finally getting some sweater weather this week, which is so exciting. It's been in the 60s, a little bit, in the 70s still, so it's not quite full autumn yet. Still can feel a little warm, but cool enough where I don't have to blast my window units all day long like I do all of July and August, and also cool enough where I'm actually craving a warm cup of tea in the evening. So that's been a relief after a very hot and sweaty summer. And I've got a hand knit on today. This is an old one from some years ago now. Can't really remember when, but the pattern is the Loopy Mango. I believe it's their Rhinebeck cardigan. And it's knitted up in Loopy Mango too. This is their like bulky mohair that is so soft, but so mohairy. I don't know if you can see all that fuzz that's up there. I have to be kind of selective with what I wear this with because it sheds like crazy. So I don't usually wear it under a coat or anything, because then I'm just like lint rolling pink mohair for days off of the coat. But it's perfect for, when you just need a little cardigan, and super warm because it's really, really chunky mohair. And I love the color. I'm always a sucker for like ballet pink or, everything. So I think this was the first and actually I think only cardigan that I've knitted so far. It's just, it's pretty oversized and boxy. Was all seamed together, and it's all just stockinette with some little ribbed cuffs. So super cute and cozy. Today is September 29th. Let me check my watch. Yep. So October is just a few days away, and I'm so excited for October. Lots of fun sheepy yarn things to look forward to. My boyfriend and I are heading up to Vermont this weekend to actually visit some of his family that's out there, and we are going to stop by the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival along our way. And I've never been, so I'm very excited to see that. I think I have a few vendors that I'm really excited to see there, and top of mind is the Junction Fiber Mill. So I'll drop their links in the description box below, but I'm excited. I think I need to do a little planning to see if I want to, if there's any projects that I want to buy yarn for, just to keep that in the back of my mind in case I find anything. If you are interested in keeping up with me in a more real-time basis at all, you can head over to my Instagram. I'm sure I'll be posting all about the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival this next weekend. So feel free to follow me there, and would love to connect in a more real-time manner on Instagram too. And then after that, we've got the New York City Yarn Crawl is the weekend after this, next weekend. So I'll probably be bopping around to some yarn stores then. And then the weekend after that is Rhinebeck. So I shared one of my sweaters that I finished in my last episode. It's my Winterwoods by the Knitter, and I hadn't blocked it yet. I've got it right next to me. I hadn't blocked it because I was about to leave for vacation when I finished it. So when I got back last weekend, I soaked it and blocked it, and I tried my very hardest to not stretch it out because it was already oversized and I didn't want it to grow, and it grew. So I've got it right here and it finally finished drying yesterday, and I tried it on and kind of wanted to cry about it, but it's gonna be okay. It's all a learning process, and I think I can, you know, make some updates so that I will still love it. But as you can see, I think the color, I mean, it's like looking huge like this. I don't know. That looks huge to me. I don't know. Just compared on the screen. But yeah, the color work I think relaxed a little bit. There's still some bunching that I think I'm gonna try to steam block out. I don't know. It's definitely way less than it was before blocking, so I may just leave it. Mostly it's just like on this, there's some weird stuff happening on the sides. It kind of like poofs out slightly, so I just need to smooth that down, I think. And then but the real issue is that which I guess you can't tell when I'm just holding it up, but the body and the sleeves feel so long on me. I mean, the sleeves literally go past, I think they end at like my fingertips. So that grew a good, I mean, I stopped when I was trying on before blocking. It was like, you know, at my watch. So I guess I should have done it shorter, but it literally grew, I don't know, it feels like 6 inches at least. And the body is also pretty long. I think I actually could have stopped where you see the line of the new skein right there, and done the color work. So I don't know. I'm going to just like let it sit for a few days, work up the the motivation to rip back some of the things. I didn't weave in any of my ends because I feel like I kind of knew deep down that this was probably gonna happen, even though I really don't want to. But I'm thinking that I'll start with the sleeves because those are just like, I mean, I can't walk around with like bunched up sleeves constantly. So I want to fix those at least, and I think, you know, I'll end up just, I don't know that I'm going to do the color work on those again. I think I'll just rip it back and just do the ribbing in the brown, and yeah, test that out. And I probably want to do the body too, but I'm going to start with the sleeves and see if that changes how I feel about the rest of it, because I really do love the color work on the sleeves and the bottom hem of the body. So I am gonna be sad to rip that all out. It happens. It's all a learning process. So, but thank you everyone for all of your kind words about my Winterwoods on my first episode. I think I'm gonna hold on to that and use that as motivation to like really make sure I have a sweater that I want to wear and will like love forever, because I think right now it's just so oversized that I need to make some changes, so then I will like for sure, you know, love it forever and ever. So that is that. Other than that, I have one finished object and a few whips and some new yarn that I picked up on my vacation. So I'll just get into that. So my only finished object this week is a pair of socks. These are a gift knit for one of my good friends. Her birthday is tomorrow. So I'm going to ship these out today, and they're going to be a few days late because she lives in Colorado and I do not. But I'm super happy with how these turned out, and selfishly I wish I could keep them for myself, but I'll just have to knit myself a pair. Get the color in there. I feel like the lighting coming from this way. Sorry for any construction noises in the background. You just you never get peace and quiet in New York City. But these are the mountain socks by Northern Knits and Purl. I knitted this in the Plucky Knitter Primo Fingering, one of the colors that I featured in my acquisitions on my last episode, and obsessed with the combo. Loved the pattern so much. The texture is, just a combo of knits and purls, so it feels like a step up from just a vanilla sock, and was really easy to memorize, and could do this on the go very easily. And the yarn is so soft, so squishy and soft. It was amazing to knit with. It has it's a merino cashmere nylon blend, so it just feels like so lovely. And yeah, I'm sad that I don't get to keep these selfishly, because I really, really loved how they turned out. But I have a few more skeins of the Plucky Knitter Primo Fingering in some other colors, so I'm definitely going to knit another pair for myself this fall. And I am going to submit these for the Falling Leaves sock cal that's happening right now through mid-November, I believe, and that is hosted by the Earth Tones girl, Denise. And yeah, so I'm excited. I love her vibe, and it's fun to participate in her cal, and it has me on like a crazy sock Mojo knitting vibe right now. So yeah, only finished object is these. They're getting shipped out today, off to their new home, so that is exciting. I have one more sock whip and then 2 sweater whips, so I'll just go through those. This next whip is barely a whip, so apologies that it is not more exciting, but I just wanted to feature the pattern and the yarn because I'm very excited to start on this project. And I'll put a little screenshot right here, but this is going to be the Sixpence sock by This Handmade Life. So just got just a few rows of the cuff going, and I'm very excited to keep going on this. The yarn, which I'm also stoked about, is the contrast color. I'm using this green from the Explorer Knits summer shop update. This is like from the Ice Cream Social, I think is what the collection was called. It's just one of the tonals. I got the pack of tonal mini skeins just to have, because I'm kind of loving mini skeins right now. It's nice to have, it's fun to put different combos together. So I've got this for the contrast, and it's just the Denali sock base. And then I picked up this for the main color, a nice variegated greens, got some blues and browns in there. I think it's really pretty and really fall autumnal vibes. And then I really liked this combo. So this is, picked it up at Knitty City here in New York. It is a Danish yarn. It's hand dyed in the Netherlands. No, that's not Danish. That's Dutch. It's a Dutch yarn. Not Danish. And the brand is called Wilmette Verve, I believe. And again, I'll have all of this stuff in a Ravelry project if you want to check it out and get more details. I do not know the colorway because it was not on the tag. So just a green. But yeah, and it's like a sock. I think this is like an 80-20 or maybe 75-25 blend. So excited about this. And again, the pattern is Sixpence by This Handmade Life. It's pretty, I think, similar to the mountain socks, where it's a textured sock pattern, but just a combo of knits and purls. So nothing too crazy. I am really wanting to try out some sock lace patterns. So if you have any recommendations, any patterns that you love, please share. I would love to check them out. And I have a lot of sock yarn in my stash right now, and am, really ready to like cast on all the socks. So I'm trying to finish out everything I need for Rhinebeck, and then I'm gonna go like cast on crazy. So yeah, speaking of Rhinebeck, let's check in on my Alpenglow sweater, which is my second Rhinebeck sweater that I'm working on right now. I've got it in this cute petite knit project bag. I love these drawstring bags and the quilted pattern. It's got all these like pockets on the inside, and it just holds everything, which is so nice. And I'm always looking for more cute project bags. So if again, please share if you have any brands or brands and shops that you love to get your project bags from. I have been trying to get one from, is it Knitting Nelly? She has really cute like sewn quilted project bags, but I've only followed her I think for like one shop update, and then they sold out in like seconds, I think. So didn't get one of those, but maybe someday. That's on the wish list for sure. So my Alpenglow sweater has made some progress, thankfully, because Rhinebeck is coming up quick. I took this on vacation with me because I had an 8-hour flight to knit on there and back. So lots of plane knitting time, and then was also taking trains and stuff. So got some good progress on this, and last time I had just split for sleeves. I think I was like around here, maybe had done one more body repeat, but now I've got a full body. Get that all in. So yeah, I've got I think another inch of bottom ribbing to do, and then I'll be able to bind the body off and get going on the sleeves. I'm hoping that the sleeves fly by, so we'll see. The body was pretty quick, just because it's all mosaic, so you only have to hold one strand at a time, which was nice. And then the corrugated ribbing, I'm really liking how it's looking now. The first couple rows I found to be very tedious and slightly annoying, which this is my first time doing corrugated ribbing. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. I knit continental and hold both of the yarns in my left hand, and you're supposed to knit with one color and you purl with the other, and I just found it to be really I don't know, annoying mostly with like the purling of like the one color. So if there's any continental knitters watching this and they have a method of doing corrugated ribbing that they really love and is quick, please do share, because I think I'm getting the hang of it now, but it wasn't feeling like super natural, I guess. And maybe I just need to learn how to hold one color in each hand, but there's something, every time I try like English style, it's just like doesn't connect with my brain. So maybe I need to like sit down and just really spend some dedicated time working on that skill. But for now, I'm just gonna keep chugging along. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking and how it's fitting. I think it's gonna fit really, really well. Really loved how the spin cycle gradient is like coming through. Got a nice little pop of yellow here in the middle, and then I kind of switched back to some pinks and blues, and then we're getting into some green and gray on the ribbing. So that'll be fun. I'm not going to really worry too much about the sleeves in terms of like matching colors. I don't know if I should try to do them 2 at a time. I don't know. That sounds difficult. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but I did kind of plan this so that I knew this skein was going to end with a pink, and then this one starts with a pink. So I don't know if you can kind of tell, but the middle and the outside are like similar enough. So I'm gonna probably try to, I don't know how I'm gonna do this for the sleeves, because I'm like, I don't want them to be too different where it's like feels, you know, like a jarring difference between this pink that I ended the yoke with and then start the sleeve on. But I'm also not too worried about trying to make them match up all that much. We'll see. I'm just gonna roll with it, and hopefully it looks okay. But yeah, and then I'm excited to do the collar because this just is driving me crazy. the like unfinished rolled collar. And yeah, so Alpenglow is coming along. Again, I have, what is it? I guess 2 weeks now to finish it. I would love to do some speedy knitting and get that done by the end of next week. Yeah. Just to get that off my needles. I would love to get it done before that. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. We'll see. Maybe I'll have a lot of knitting time this weekend in the car driving up to Vermont, and I can get some sleeves done. I would love to have just like a sleeve done by the start of next week. Ambitious, I think, but maybe it's possible. I don't know. We will see. And my last whip right now was not really planned. I was planning to only focus on my Alpenglow until Rhinebeck before casting on another sweater. But I am doing a test knit, which I'm very excited about because I have not test knitted anything before, and it's for the Petite Knitter, who you know, I love her patterns. I've got the Winterwoods. I did her Ovis socks, which I featured in my first episode. So was ecstatic to be able to test knit for her. And yeah, it's another pullover color work, stranded color work, top down sweater. I've got it right here. It's attached to some yarn, so let me make sure that doesn't rip out. And I'm using the unspun yarn that I featured last episode. This is my progress so far. I need to switch to a larger cord because it's getting very bunched up. As you can see, I'm going through the increases and yeah. So it looks a little bunched right now, but I'm really happy with how it's turning out. The collar is corrugated ribbing, and then yeah, it goes into the color work, and this yellow right here in the collar will actually be the main body color. So once I get to the end of the color work chart, it'll kind of transition into the main body color and I'll use that for the rest. But for this, it's all gonna slide off my needles. Stay on. For this first contrast color, the green, that is the plate of Plotulopi that I showed in my acquisitions last episode. And yeah, the green and the white is Plotulopi. I've got some more, well, I guess it's on this side. I've got some more white that's going to come in after this. The red is the Nutiden, and yellow is also the Nutiden. So for this third contrast color, I'm going to do kind of a variety of shades as I go through the color work chart. The Petite Knitter used a bunch of like scrap unspun that she had, so it looks pretty, you know, there's a variety of colors going on, and there will be a sheep motif in here, which I'm very excited about. I can't wait to like knit that little sheepy into the sweater. And yeah, I'm very excited to, one, be test knitting, and two, be using the unspun that I have. I need to put this down because I keep just ripping out my stitches. I need to put some needle blockers on there. So we'll see how that turns out. I am holding it single, which is what she did in her sample as well. And I've been, finding it very pleasant to knit with. You definitely have to, I've been a little bit more conscious of making sure that I'm keeping it like looser and, you know, not to rip the strand apart, but it is so easy to just like put it back together by rubbing it together. At least the Nutiden, I've not found that the Plotulopi tears easily at all. It's feels pretty strong. So it's just been the Nutiden that I've been more conscious of and careful with. But yeah, it's nice. It all kind of, I think since I'm using mostly Plotulopi right now, we'll see how it changes when I get into using the Nutiden for just the main body. But the color work has been so lovely to do because the Plotulopi is so rustic and grippy that it kind of just, you know, all of it just feels like it locks into place as soon as you knit it, which is really nice. Versus my Alpenglow that has been like so slippery because with the sport weight yarns that are like spun. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. We'll see how it comes out. I'll try to post some progress on my Instagram to keep that moving along. The deadline is later in October, and I think the pattern is set to be released around that time, like late October, as well. So super cute. I'll keep you posted. Moving right along into acquisitions. If you had watched my first episode and heard me say that I was not going to buy anything until I went to a sheep and wool festival, no, you didn't, because I have more yarn to show you today. To be fair, the first thing is something that I ordered before I said that, so I'd already purchased it. It just didn't arrive in the mail until after I filmed. And then I have a lot of souvenir yarn, I guess I'll call it, from my vacation that I was on last week. So yeah, let's get into some yarns. My first acquisition that I'll show you is a kit for the MKAL by Stephen West. So I ordered this from Stephen and Penelope. Comes with a cute little project bag and all my yarns inside. Oops. As if I don't have enough whips and like things in my queue already, I'm just gonna add the MKAL on top of it and roll with it. I have not participated in the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West before, so I'm very excited to see how this process goes. I think, you know, there's so much like buzz around it, and if you tell me there is a knit along happening, I will join so fast. I will buy the yarn, I'll buy the pattern, I'll buy the kits. I'll be there with my needles ready to go. So I'm very excited for this, and this will also be my first shawl. I have a few shawls that I've been wanting to make, but have not been able to get to those patterns yet. And yeah, so I'll show you the yarn. It's calls for 2, it's all fingering weight, and yeah, this was a kit from Stephen and Penelope that I purchased, so they put it together, and I have been wanting to try this Danish brand. It's hand dyed, I think, in Copenhagen. I could be making that up. I first saw this yarn when Petite Knit posted it. She used it in one of her pattern samples that she made, and I have no idea how to say it because I don't know how to speak Danish. Sislergit, something like that, maybe. So yeah, but for the MKAL, they suggest 2 skeins of your like main colors. So I've got this one. It's a nice pretty speckle. There's some browns and blue and kind of pinkish undertones in there. And this is like a grayish kind of cooler tone blue. So yeah, I've got these. And then there's one contrast color, and I've got this kind of pinky brown. It's called Sangria Please. So it does kind of look like sangria color. Try to get it right in the light. Yeah, so I think this is gonna be, let's see, I'll hold these 3 up together. I think these are gonna be a fun combo. I didn't want anything too colorful and crazy, and I feel like I've been knitting a lot of browns and blues, which I know this is kind of bluish, so wanted to just do some like neutrals with like a little pinkish red. And I got an email that this is actually, I don't think this is actually the correct colorway that was in the kit that was featured. I think it was actually supposed to be a more pink color. So I got an email from Stephen and Penelope saying that they are they're sending out the actual like correct the correct skein, and then I think I just get to keep this. Something with their fulfillment center was, you know, it was done incorrectly, but I don't know. I have no idea if that's on its way or anything. I like this combo of colors, so I might just do this because I'm kind of liking the like reddish, like less of a pink there. Fuzz. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with the weekly clues as they're released. From what I've heard, it can be quite a bit of knitting to keep up with on a weekly basis, and I've got my Alpenglow and this test knit that I really want to prioritize since those have more hard deadlines. So I think I'm just gonna, you know, I'll cast on with everyone, and then I'll probably go at my own pace, which will probably take some of the mystery aspect out of the mystery knit along, since I'll probably see everyone else's before I'm able to get to that section, but it'll be fun. I don't know. I'm excited either way. Okay, my last little bit of things to talk about and yarn acquisitions are from my vacation. I was in Italy for 9 days, I believe, and traveled all around mostly, what was it, like northern, west, central, hit kind of like Rome, Florence, Tuscany, that whole area, over the course of the week. And I found a few yarn stores along the way. So I wasn't expecting to really shop for yarn while I was there. I had kind of done some preliminary research and knew there were a few yarn stores that I thought looked pretty cute and just wanted to stop in and see what they had. And then ended up finding, I think, a little bit more than anticipated. So I'll just start getting into it. I have a rather large bag of yarn that I somehow managed to fit back in my carry-on. Thankfully, yarn is really squishy and you can really pack it in there. I had no plan, so ended up just buying a bunch of kind of random stuff, but definitely was looking for yarns that were made in Italy, since that's where I was. I was like, I want some made in Italy yarns. I'll like type out all of the names and everything that I talk about and put the info below, and like links to their Instagrams and stuff. I know a few of them do ship worldwide if you're in the market for some Italian yarn. But yeah, the first one I went to was in Florence, and it was really cute. I picked up some of these. They're just 100% wool, like little balls. I don't know if it's gonna focus. And yeah, I've got some green too. Again, was just kind of grabbing random stuff. I'm not sure if there's an indie dyer or, you know, like indie yarn culture in Italy. So was just buying whatever I felt gravitated towards, really. But yeah, these, I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. I tried asking the man that was helping me, like, oh, what weight of yarn is this, and all that kind of stuff, and that did not seem to translate. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Didn't seem to translate, but they do have, I think they use like needle size as the classification. I don't know if that's gonna focus, but it says a 3 and a 4, which I don't know if that's 3 millimeters to 4 millimeters or if that's a US 3 to 4. We'll test it out and see. But these colors I think are cute. We were in Cinque Terre, along the west coast of Italy, yeah, and stayed in Monterosso, which is, they have nice beaches along the Mediterranean and whatnot, and they had orange and green beach umbrellas that I thought were really cute. So I kind of like that this is a color combo that references that. You know, it might be fun to do little stripes with it, maybe a hat. I don't know. We will see. So also from that store, I picked up a few balls of this tweed, and this is 50% wool, 50% acrylic. But just was really loving the blue color, and they had, most of their yarn was in these, you know, super tall shelves, like floor to ceiling shelves, and behind a counter. So the man had, he gave me like I was like, oh, I really like that tweed, and he gave me a card, like a color card, that I could pick out the color, and told him how many skeins I wanted, and then he went and grabbed it for me. So I have been watching the Brookwillow Knit podcast quite a bit recently, and she had made a hipster hat that she featured in one of her recent podcast episodes. I think she also made it in a tweed. And so I was like, okay, I want a hipster hat, and this tweed looks super cute. So Brookwillow Knit podcast was definitely the direct inspiration for this purchase. So yeah, I haven't I need some like new hats for this winter, I've decided. So I might be making a lot of hats out of these yarn acquisitions specifically. Also in Florence, I went to another smaller little yarn store, and it was like super tucked away, had like no sign outside indicating that it was a yarn store by any means. And they had quite a bit that I liked. So the first was this skein, and this is from the brand Katia, which I saw a lot of while I was in Italy, and really loved the color variation on it. Again, I'm like, I don't even know what needle size is recommended for this. What does it say? Oh, here we go. A US 4 to 6. Oh no, that's for a crochet needle. 4 to 5. Okay. So maybe a hat out of this. I think there's quite a bit of yardage on this guy. Yeah, we've got 557 yards. Oh yeah, it's 150 grams. That's why. I was like, why is this huge? It's a cotton, alpaca, wool, and polyamide blend. So quite a bit going on in this guy. But again, love the colors, and it feels pretty soft. It's got a little fuzzy halo to it. I think it might make a nice hat. We'll see. Also at that store, I picked up a few more skeins. I've got this. Oh, the sun's coming in. I've got this. I'll hold it back here. This skein, just some sock yarn. It's a wool nylon blend, made in Italy. I like the colors, and yeah, really into knitting socks right now. Was feeling the sock mojo. I got a few. Oh, the sun is coming in. Sorry for the lighting change. The sun decided to come out this afternoon. I really liked this. It is, what is it? Wool and alpaca blend. It's got a lot of browns and beige and black in there. Again, really soft and squishy. Thought it would make a great hat. From there, we went to Siena in Tuscany, and they happened to have a super cute yarn store that I popped in. I think I picked up all sock yarn there, and the man who helped me was super helpful, brought out like all of these different colors and skeins and stuff for me. So I found another, just a little simple ball of this. Sorry that the sun is like glaring right into my window right now. And I thought my sister would really like this. So I've picked up extra stuff because I want to gift some to my mom and my sister who are coming in town for Rhinebeck in a few weeks. And so wanted to make sure that I got them some yarn. And I'm just gonna let them pick, but I had this in mind specifically for my sister since she tends to gravitate towards purple yarn a lot. I picked up another little set of this fingering weight. It is, I think, an 80-20 wool nylon blend, but has a lot of fun color variation. Again, felt like kind of like fall-ish to me. It's got some beige and red and pinkish purple to it. So I was like, I wanted one, and then I was like, my mom or sister might want the other one. So another thing of sock yarn, nothing too crazy, more neutral than the rest of it. Just like a little brown and beige. And yeah. Lastly, at this store in Siena, I got a bunch of little sock minis. The man who was helping me brought out a box of just like so many colors, and I would have taken the entire box home, I think, if I could have. I believe just 25 grams. It's by that Katia brand. Let me get that right side up. Katia brand that I kind of saw everywhere. It's called United Sock, just solids, and they were each, I think, like €250. So I was like, I need so many of those. And yeah, I kind of just picked colors that I thought were fun and would use eventually. I didn't necessarily pick these to pair with any of the other sock yarn that I purchased. But yeah, just liked the colors and was like, they're definitely gonna get used. Lastly, our hotel in Rome ended up being right next door to a hole-in-the-wall yarn store. Not sure how that happened. I guess it was meant to be. And wasn't, this was at the end of our trip, and I was like, I don't need to buy any more yarn, but wanted to peek in anyway and support the Italian yarn community. So I ended up picking up this little sock skein. It's self-striping, I believe, and says it'll make 2 identical socks. And now that I have this skein all the way back home, I don't know that I love the colors that much. We'll see how it knits up, I guess. Might just make a gift knit out of these. Yeah, so that is that. And that concludes my yarn acquisitions. Again, no more until the Sheep and Wool festivals. Thank you to everyone who watched my first episode. I can't believe that anyone saw it. I didn't even tell anyone that I was posting it, and was so overwhelmed with the response there. And so yeah, thank you to everyone who watched and subscribed and commented. It made me so happy, and there were so many lovely comments that I really appreciate, and I'm excited to continue exploring this YouTube yarn knitting podcast thing. Please bear with me as I hopefully get better at speaking on camera. I was someone who was so shy growing up and somehow avoided ever taking a public speaking class in all of my education. So yeah, bear with me, please. I also wanted to say a special thanks to Anna of the Brookwillow Knit podcast. She posted that she was watching my first episode on her Instagram story, and I saw a few comments on the last video come in saying that they watched because of her. So thank you so much, Anna. Her podcast is also amazing, so please check it out. I also wanted to say thank you to Isabel, who is a knitwear designer, and I believe she's based in Germany. She gave me a little shout out on her Instagram stories as well, and that just made my day. It was so fun to see. So I've got both of them tagged below in the description. I think that's it. Thank you again for being here with me today and watching. I'm thinking that I will continue to record and upload as I finish things up. I don't know that I'm gonna give myself a set schedule yet, because I want to film whenever I have something to share. So the frequency may change or not, but I'm thinking that I will do possibly a little Rhinebeck vlog. Maybe if I'm not too overwhelmed with just the event itself, if you've been to Rhinebeck before and you have suggestions on how to navigate it as a first timer, I would love to hear that below. If you could comment and let me know the tips and tricks, I would be really appreciative. Can't thank you enough for all of the kindness. I am so grateful, and I hope you had some lovely knitting time while watching this, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.